We're now hearing from Jada Pinkett Smith after her husband Will Smith apologized to Chris Rock for slapping him at the Oscars. Pinkett Smith posted on Instagram today saying, "This is a season for healing, and I'm here for it." It comes as the Academy says it's conducting a formal review. TJ Holmes has the latest.
Will Smith has apologized to Chris Rock after he struck the comedian in the face on live television during the Oscars.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
The actor posted to Instagram, "My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be." The slap followed this joke Rock made about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who has been vocal about her battle with alopecia.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Smith wrote, "Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally."
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
I'm going to, okay?
This apology comes as the Academy leadership reportedly called an emergency meeting to address the incident, saying it condemns the actions of Mr. Smith and is now undergoing a formal review to explore further action and consequences in accordance with our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law.
There are going to be consequences, and so could it be that his membership is suspended or that he's even expelled from the Academy? Those are both very real possibilities. There's only so much that the Academy can do.
Criminal charges, though, aren't expected. The LAPD tells ABC News their involvement has definitely ended unless Rock decides to file a police report. Photographers inside the theater captured more tense moments than you saw on television. Rock on stage during the commercial break, gesturing toward Smith, who can be seen hand in hand with Jada and being comforted by his King Richard co-star Ingenue Ellis. Actor Denzel Washington standing between Smith and Rock. Washington, Tyler Perry, and Bradley Cooper all photographed speaking with Smith during the commercials. The New York Times reports there were serious discussions about removing Mr. Smith from the theater. Rock hasn't spoken out publicly just yet, but he was all smiles at the Oscars after party. The confrontation overshadowing what should have been a career highlight for Smith and also a comeback of sorts for the Oscars. 15 million viewers tuned in a year after COVID forced a much more low-key ceremony. The show's producer, Will Packer, tweeted, "This was a very painful moment for me."
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
For many, the incident is at odds with the public image of the Will Smith we've known for decades as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and one of the world's biggest superstars with a record 8 consecutive $100 million blockbusters. Smith's mother tells our Philadelphia station, WPVI, in an exclusive interview, even she was surprised by her son's onstage actions.
He is a very even people person, and that's the first time I've ever seen him go off. The first time in his lifetime.
In November, Smith told me about shedding that persona in a recent memoir.
What do you think the perception is of you now? Is it really that perfect guy?
No, no, certainly not. The perception to me is less important than maintaining authenticity and letting the chips fall where they may.
Now, it's not widely expected that the Academy is going to revoke his Oscar. This is not something that the Academy has done in its history, taking back an Oscar, an acting Oscar, after one was awarded. Will Smith did go on in his lengthy statement to apologize to his the Williams family, also to his family that helped him put together that movie, saying what he did took away from what was a beautiful journey. He ended that statement, by saying, "I am a work in progress."
All right, TJ Holmes, thanks for that report. And for more on this, I'd like to bring in senior entertainment reporter at ESPN's Anscape and host of ABC News' Close Up podcast, Kelly Carter, as well as supervising attorney at Safe Horizon Domestic Violence Law Project, Stacey Schechter. Thank you both for being here. Kelly, I'd like to start with you. First off, what was your reaction in that moment when this whole thing happened? And what do you think of Smith's apology now?
Yeah, so I was at the Dolby Theater when that happened, so I was able to hear it full, live, and in living color, and I was shocked. I mean, I was speechless. Because like everyone else, I mean, my phone immediately started lighting up, and people were asking, "Is this real? Is this a skit?" And I was like, "This is absolutely real," because I was really seeing what was happening, a little bit in the theater. And and Will needed to apologize, and I'm happy that he apologized. And I think that we need to give him a little bit of grace, because a lot of times we don't allow celebrities to really kind of fully live in their own humanity and make mistakes on large and national and international stages. And that's what happened, I think, on Sunday night for Will.
Now, I know you're friends with Will Packer, the producer of the Oscars. He said this was a very painful moment for him. But there was also a fair bit of criticism for the fact that the producers allowed Will Smith to stay in the audience and then, of course, make his acceptance speech when he won the Oscar for Best Actor. So what went into that call? Why do you think they ultimately allowed him to stay?
From what I understand, everything just happened so quickly. It was all, when you go back and look at the timing of it all, I don't know if there was time for them to really even congregate and figure out what it is they should do by the time Will Smith's name was called to win that Oscar. I mean, no one prepared for something like this to happen at the Oscars on Sunday night. And so my guess is that they just didn't really know what to do. It truly was unprecedented.
And Stacey, there's sort of a secondary conversation happening now about how this incident was especially triggering for some victims of domestic violence. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, and I would say it's not necessarily victims of domestic violence alone, but people that have witnessed family violence in their childhood, the way Will Smith has talked about in his recent memoir, having seen his father perpetrate violence against his mother and, in fact, being haunted by not doing anything about it, though he was a child. So I think the choice Will Smith made at the Oscars on Sunday was likely rooted in that trauma and this experience of that we've seen in many witnesses of violence, that they repeat patterns, that they're modeled as children. So this might even be a part of Will Smith's healing process in an unfortunately, aggressive and public way, but he might actually be processing and healing some of the trauma that he experienced as a child. And that might be a little bit of an explanation for what we saw on Sunday night.
And Stacey, you took issue with the line in his speech where he said, "Love makes you do crazy things." What was it about that line that you found problematic? And what do you think in general about the theme of the speech centering on protecting family?
I think the concept that love is connected to making you do something crazy is a notion that we want to avoid as a society kind of attaching to, because the fact is that healthy, balanced, securely attached love is never going to make you feel the need to do anything crazy to keep that love or to protect that love. So it's a notion that is something we don't want to spread necessarily as connected. Love is not violent or crazy. So that is a concerning statement, certainly, though I think with a lot of context behind it for Will Smith and his family that might shed more light on that.
And Kelly, the Academy says they're conducting a review of this incident. What will that entail?
Again, this is something that the Academy has never had to deal with before. So all of this is news to everyone who's been covering this industry for a really long time. But what I will say is that the Academy has never revoked someone's Oscar, including Harvey Weinstein. And I think to do it to Will Smith would probably set a really bad precedent and would leave a really bad taste, I think, in a lot of people's mouths if something like that were to happen.
So, Kelly, outside of whatever the Academy officially does, what level of repercussion do you think Will Smith will see? This I'm sure is not the end of his career. He's not going to be canceled over this. So what is it that you think he will have to navigate? What are the repercussions?
I mean, I think that he's probably going to have to continue doing an extension of what he did in that Instagram apology, which is give us, a little bit of insight into what he's going through, which, to be fair, I think that the Smith family has really done, especially in this last year and a half. They've been very open about their lives, mostly because of Jada's Red Table Talk series on Facebook. And so we've been able to get an insight into the family dynamic and have these really listen to these open conversations about therapy and process. Even Jada saying, you know, on her Instagram post is, I think, a slice into probably what the conversation that's happening at home. And I think that he'll probably have a public interview and talk a little bit more about that. It'll be an extension of what he already shared in his memoir, talking about watching his mother go through domestic abuse and him feeling unempowered to do something about it.
All right, Kelly Carter, Stacey Schechter, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.